Welcome to the new class, and today we are going to learn database. We already discussed in the theoretical class that there are different forms of database, but for today we are going to learn the very basic database, that is MS Access. And MS Access you will get from your computer. If you have a Microsoft Office program, you can find your Access program. You just click there, and then you find your Microsoft Office, click there and access there. So that is the one way you can get it, the access. Okay, so you can find the program from your home button. Otherwise you just right click, okay, new, and then you can find the access. No matter that which way you can find your access, you just choose whatever you like. I'm doing this way. You just click there, a access button will be appeared, and access file extension is .accdb. okay, .accdb. For you have to save the file according to your name. Okay, say my name is Mahabub, but I'm just writing ecolab, and then you need to put your ID. So I'm just writing 2020. Okay, in that way you have to find and open your access file. So that is the one way. Okay, the first way and easiest way. You can learn from that, or if you go from that, you can also go from there, no problem. In that case, you just click there and then access. If you click access, somebody can write, I want that you clean that annotation. Okay, I have to erase and stop the annotation. Where is the setting? Okay, don't use annotations. Okay, so if you do this, you will find something like that. If you do the other way, but you will find so many template. Okay, because this is the these are the pre-built template provided by the Microsoft. But I guess that you should not. You can use it based on your need. But for my case, I am going to learn, or I am showing you how to create a database using the blank database, desktop database. Okay, by this. So what I need to do, I need to click here. Once I click here, that will ask me the name. So I can write something. I can write my name, Mahabub, and then this folder actually asking that which file you are actually storing your database. Here it's showing the file path. The file path right now is user, C drive, user and document. But I want to change this file path so that I want to keep the database on my desktop. So therefore I need to click here and I need to show the computer to the path to my desktop. Okay, so wait a bit. Okay, then I just click the desktop, and once I click the desktop and OK, after I hit the desktop and OK, here you see that my path change automatically. It's C drive, user and the desktop. And then if I hit create, then the similar file named Mahabub will be created. So I'm not hitting the created because I have already created the file. Okay, and that file you can see here. Okay, so please create your file very quickly. You can go for right button, new, and then create the file, desktop. and rename the file and double click. Once you double click, you will find a template that is the MS Access template in fact. So the first thing, if your computer showing this security warning, and if you see the enable content, the first task will be to enable the content, because your content is just now protected view, so it's not you are not able to write or do anything there. So you should click here, enable content, and then your file is ready for work. Okay, if you find something like that, if you just click there and if you find something like that, sometimes there might have some table, okay, something like that. So whatever the table or whatever the thing is, you can see in the left window. So the left window will be your library. Everything that you will do or that you have, that must be appear here. Okay, so if you have something like that, like there is one table and there is something in the working window, that is your workspace. Okay, you can actually move it. But this is your workspace. This is the workspace and this is the library. Okay, so if you find something here in the workspace, you need to cross it and make this workspace empty, because you need to learn from the scratch, from the very beginning. So if you cross there, then your work window like a table will be disappear. Okay, but don't close this. If you close this, then your whole database will be shut down. Like if I close this, your whole database will be shut down. So don't do it. Once I will ask you to shut down any particular table or particular function, you need to cross this small tab. Okay, cross this small cross, not this cross. If it is open, because it is already open, I can create multiple tables. Okay, I can create multiple tables. Often students say that, okay, I have only one file open. No, you have a 2 file open. Here you see the 2 file open. If you click this one, smaller one, then you say that, no, I have no file open. No, you have a 2 file open, and that's why I'm saying that you need to in some cases you need to clean all your space. Right now we have 3 files. Okay, if you click this, 1 gone, but 2 is still there, so you need to clean these like that. That is the one issue. Often students do not understand that their files are open. Okay, and therefore sometimes when the files are open, some function will not work or may not work. So you need to first close all your tabs. The second issue, for many of your computer, sometimes you will see the ribbon. Okay, that is called ribbon, or that is called all the function here. But sometimes you see that there is a no ribbon or no function. Because of this, carefully see this, the up arrow. If you need more space, you can click the up arrow. In that case, that ribbon will be minimized. You will get more space. But once the ribbon is minimized, as you are learning for the first time, you might have some difficulties to find out the appropriate function. Okay, so therefore I would recommend you to open your ribbon or open your function tab, and therefore you can easily find out where the particular or your desired function or desired tab in the ribbon in fact. So what is the alternative? Alternative means sometimes it might looks like this, collapse the ribbon. So you will find that nothing is there, and you might be at loss that what happened here. Okay, and therefore I would say that you just click any tab. Once you click on any tab, then your ribbon will be appear. Here you see that your ribbon will be appear, and here you see that button. It is called the lock. Pin the ribbon. So I would say that if your computer just now looking like that, so just hit any tab, and once you see all the tab, just pin the tab. Okay, so therefore it will never go, and you can easily find the function. That's the important part. I'm once again showing. Sometimes it might look like this, But in that case, just click any tab and pin the tab. Therefore, your ribbon always in display mode. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, let's talk about the different tabs. Here you see that we have a 5 tabs: file tabs, home tabs, create tabs, external data, and database tools. So file tab, if I click the file tab, I'm not seeing anything. In the home tab, everything is disabled. Okay, here you see that it is not enabled, because there is nothing. Once we have something in our left side or my working history, you can easily find that the function will be in enable mode or in usable mode. But right now, every function are enable. Every functions are disable mode. Okay, but from the home tab, you can see that most of the function of the home tab is just like a access Excel or PowerPoint or Word. Like for that ribbon, here you see that this just like the font size, the font types, okay, the bullet points, okay, that that alignment, the font characteristics, shape fill, text formatting, something like that. It is very easy, and this is the control find option. Okay, so this is the very common function that we are familiar with our MS Word, PowerPoint, or MS Excel. Okay, what is new here? Also the records. Here you see the record. Here you see the record. A record is also similar to our MS Excel, because there we use the total value, delete, spelling, something like that. What is new here? That is the file. Okay, that is the view. Under the file, here you see the view. That is the new here. And in MS Excel, you will see multiple view. Once you bring something here, you can see the view. Okay, right now there is a no view. So that is the first file or first tab, in fact. Now we are going to show you the second tab, the create tab. Okay, hit create. Once you hit create, you will see that 4 major work. One is table properties, tables. So that is called table properties. That is called query properties. Okay, that is called form properties, and that is called report properties. So in this, MS Access, we are going to learn these 4 things: table, how to create a table, how to create a query, how to create a form, how to create a report. So for any sorts of creation, you have to come here. So create is one of the very important tabs of MS Access. You have to create anything, you should visit or you should click in this tab. Okay. Then the external data. External data has too many functions. The most important function is import. Okay, that is called import, and the other is called export. Okay, that is called import function. Here you see the import link, and that is called export link. Export links means whenever you want to send your data or your table from MS Access to any other file, like Word file, okay, or in email or other Excel file. So that is called the export. Like from the Access file, the scenario will be from Access to other, from Access to other. So that is called export. That is called export. Okay. But once you want to bring in, that is called import. Like if you want to bring in something to MS Access, like what you can bring in, like you can bring in some data from MS Excel to MS Access. In that case, here you see that Excel. So if you want to bring the data from Excel to Access, that in that case you have to use import function. Okay, so that's the idea. Or if you bring the data from other database to your Access database, then you need to use the import function. So that is the key issues of import and export function. but that import and external data or import and export function I will show after the end of all our work. Okay, at the very end I will show you how to do the import and the export. Very important. You will understand that why I'm saying it is very important to know import and export, because very frequently we have to drag the data from outside and bring into our access file for making some query. Okay, so that's the important part. Now, next tool is database tools, and in database tools we have few functions, but most importantly the function is like a move data. Your access data can be shared with your SharePoint. SharePoint is a knowledge management tools, or your organization website, and in that case you need to use the move data. Okay, but for you we are not learning the Visual Basic or run macro in fact here, but for you which is important, you need to important to the relationship, because I mentioned that MS Access is a relational database. It is a relational database, and in relational database data actually presented in table form. Remember, is an important quiz question. So in relational database data actually presented in table form. So table has two properties, row and column. Okay, table has two properties, rows and column. Okay, so therefore data normally presented in a row and column. However, unlike Excel, MS Access contain multiple table. Okay, it has multiple table, but idea of the MS Access of the table is the same data should contain in same table. Same data, same table. Okay, same data, same table, but if the data are different, that should paste in the other table. So that means homogeneous data should be stored in a single table, and that data should easily differentiate from the other table. I am repeating. In case of relational database, the data actually presented in table, but there will be multiple table, and each table is organized or developed based on the similarity. So like I am going to show you how to develop the student database. In that case, in case of student database, we have to create multiple table. Like we need to have the student table, student information table, we need to have the course table, we need to have the payment table or cost table or like result table. Okay, so therefore it is a single database, it is a student database, but within the student database you have multiple table like student information table. Student information table means student name, or addresses, contact addresses, gender, the family, place of origin, or hometown. Okay, something like that. On the other hand, in case of the course information, you might need that course name, course ID, offering department, credit hour, something like that. And in case of payment information, you can keep the student information or student payment information if the paid course. For us, it's not paid course, but normally you have to see that the student pay for their course, so therefore there will be the payment option. And there might have the result table, a separate result table. So these are the information that we need to include in our student database. So therefore, student age should not put in course information table. Okay, or student gender should not put in or under payment information table. Okay, or student payment info like how much money he paid for a particular course, that should not put under student table. So that is called the homogeneity and heterogeneity. So similar type of data, same data should store in a same table, but that should be easily differentiated from the other form of data. However, each table must have a connection. Each table, like whenever I am creating the student table must be connected to the course table. Okay, there must have a communication, there must have a relation. Or maybe this student table must have a communication to the payment information, and that is called the relationship. Okay, please mute yourself. Okay, so I'm seeing I'm hearing some noise. Please mute yourself. Okay, so this is the way that each table might be related to the each other. Otherwise, you cannot run the database. Okay, and therefore this relationship table is important. Here you see that one table is connected to the other two table, and therefore the relationship table is very important, because once you develop your database or your table, the second important task will be to make the relationship among the tables. Means you need to drag one table to the other table, and they need to have the common relation like that, like the arrow. Okay, that's important part. Try to remember this. However, here there is other important point I already discussed in the theoretical class, that in each table, like there will be the fourth table or three table. Actually, we are going to show that three table, not the fourth table. So for each table, like student information table, course information table, and payment information table, there will be multiple field or multiple. Sometimes we call the variable. Actually, not variable. That should be multiple field, like student age, one field, student name, student contact address, student gender, student place of birth. That is the one address, and that's all called field. Or course fee, or course name, course ID. That's all field. Okay, but for each table, there will be one primary key. Remember, there will be one primary key. Okay, so there will be one primary key, and primary key will be unique within the table. Means you cannot duplicate the primary key. Okay, you cannot duplicate the primary key, like your ID. Your ID is a primary key, because your ID is very unique. Okay, but there will be secondary key as well. Okay, without secondary key, you cannot make the relationship between the table. But in case of secondary key, you can replicate the number. Okay, you can replicate the number, and that's the important issues. Like if I write the primary key, okay, at the same time I should have the secondary key in my table. Therefore, that secondary key, actually the primary key, actually the field which is used as a primary key in one table could be used as a secondary key in other table. I am repeating. Say in a table, student information table, student ID is a primary key. Okay, but that student ID can be used as a secondary key in payment information table. So payment information table, payment ID might be the primary key, but student information or student ID could be used as a secondary key. And there, if you replicate, there will be no problem, because a single student might have multiple payments. Okay, because once a student enroll for a particular course and they pay the money for a particular course, there will be one payment ID. Like one student actually payment in the first year, in the second year he paid again. So therefore there will be multiple payment ID, multiple payment records. Okay, so that's the important issues. In fact, in case of this, we mentioned that in case of table, the table rows represent records. Whatever the information you see in the record, in the table, that is called record, and column represent the field. Column represent the field. You just remember the theoretical lecture, that field represent the column and records or tuples represent the rows, in fact. So that's the basic understanding of MS Access. Now we are going to create a new table for our case. So how can we create a table? For that we have to go to the create tab. Please go to the create tab. Okay, and click create. Once you click create, you will find that the properties is come up, and we need the table properties. So from here we are clicking the table, not the table design or SharePoint list. I'm just clicking the table. Okay, I'm just clicking the table. Once I clicking the table is appear here. So first thing we have to save the table. Okay, but one important issue is that MS Access normally save that data by itself. Okay, once you want to close something, if it is not saved, then computer will ask you to save the data first. So that you have to do it right now. So here I mentioned that at the beginning that tab are not active, but right now here you see all the tabs are active boot in fact. Okay, you see that the data are active, and therefore the view actually back. So once you click the view, you will find two view. So there are two view, one is called datasheet view, one's the design view. But once you make the relationship, you will find the other view. Okay, there will be four view. Right now I am in datasheet view here, and that's why the datasheet view already selected. Here you see that is selected, the datasheet view actually selected, but there is a design view. So datasheet view, remember datasheet view is used to put the data. Okay, the datasheet view is used to put the data, but we do not have the data right now. But we and we haven't created our table yet, because first you have to create the table, you need to put the field, and you need to define the field characteristics. That is important. So what I need to do, I need to switch between this table or switch between this view. Sometimes we have to come to design view, and sometimes we need to use the datasheet view. So right now I am going to use the design view, and therefore I am clicking the design view. So this is like that. I click the view, and then I am the datasheet view, but I am clicking the design view. Once I hit that design view, my computer is asking me save as. Okay, if you click OK, that's fine. The table will be saved as table 1, but I do not want this. I want to provide a particular name. So I am providing student. It is a table name, student information. Just put student information or student info, that's fine. And then I change the name. Student information, and then OK. And here you see that your table name is always change. And if you make mistake, do you want are you able to change this name later? Yes, you can. You can change the name later. In fact, in that case, we have to close the table. So if I ask to close the table, don't click here. I again mention you, don't click the big cross. You need to click there, the smaller one here. So like if I click here, my table will be closed, but it will not disappear. It will be stay there or remain there in my left window. So then I need to click the right button, and I can rename it. Once I click the rename, I can change whatever the name I want. But right now I want the student information is fine, so therefore I am not changing it, and I am clicking it. Once I click here, that will appear. Sometimes in some computer, if you click there, double click, the table may not open. In that case, you just click right button, and you just hit open. Okay, here you see that table is already open, but it is in design view. Sorry, datasheet view. So you have to change it to the design view. And once you open to the design view, at the top here you see the field name, means all variable name, and there is the data type, and there is the description, and that is the property setting or characteristics. So it is the field name, it is the data type, and that is the description, and that is the some additional setting. If you write anything under the description, that will not appear in your database in fact. Okay, say like ID, what ID, what is the type of ID. If you want to write that this ID means student ID, okay, so that if you develop the database, but somebody else is using the database, like your colleague, your friend accessing the database, but the way you define the field, it is little confusing to your friend. Okay, in that case you can write a description for your colleague. So if anybody has some confusion about a particular field, he can see that description and can understand that this is means, or this is defined, or this is says student database. Okay, one other important point here you see that a key-like structure. The key-like structure means the computer already assigned ID as a primary key. And that's why the primary key here at the top okay, at the top already selected, okay. But first, whenever I try to develop this database, I do not want to assign the primary key from the very beginning, because once you have the primary key from the very beginning, if you make some mistake, the computer will not allow you to move further, okay. As we are learning, therefore we need to go through the safest way, or more easier way, in fact, I would say. So therefore I would say that you first unselect that primary key. If you click here once, then this key like structure will be disappear from this tab, in fact, okay. So therefore I want to remove the primary key first, then I will build the database, I will put the data, and thereafter I will assign that primary key, most important part, okay. So that's I'm going to do. I am deselect the primary key first. Once I just click here, then this key will be disappear. Just you see, is gone. If I click once again, it will appear. It's gone, it's appear. It's gone, it's appear. So it's gone. Okay, very fine. Then I am writing the student field name. So I am writing that student ID, student ID. Okay. One important point for this field name. Okay. You should not write something like that, student ID. You cannot provide any space in between two words. Very important. Yes, you can provide the space, but it will create some problem, because this database can be run by programming language. Once you use the programming language or want to use the programming language, and if you keep the space, okay, that will that will create some problem, because computer will identify these two as two different character. And that's why you need to use another additional tags. And therefore for the student ID, tables name is fine, but for field name, the field name, there will be no space. So there are two ways you can do it. You can either write the first letter of the word as a capital, like student S capital, ID I capital, or you can use underscore ID. You can write in this way, no problem. Okay, and be careful about your spelling. If you want to use a particular field in a database, student ID, and if you want to use the same field in other tables, the spelling must be right. Repeating, the spelling must be right, and at the same time the data type must be right, or the same. Right means same. The data type must be same, and student field name or field name must be same. The spelling must be same. For student ID, I am not using the underscore, but I am writing student ID. But for first name, here you see that I am using first name, F capital, N capital. Normally, I see that student has a tendency, they mostly use the smaller font. Not font, sorry, alphabet, in fact, not capital letter, because we used to type the smaller letter, but don't do it. For the first word, that first letter of the word should be capital, and therefore you can easily find there are two different words. One is first, other is name. So that is the first name. Then I can write the family name or the last name. I can write family name or the last name. Okay, do you prefer the family name or do you prefer the last name? Probably we prefer the last name, because that is the common in our cases. Then I put age. Before age, probably I put the gender, then age. Okay, why do I need age? I do not need age. I need gender. I need the cell number, contact, okay, or cell, or phone number, probably. Okay, I need phone, and probably I need his origin. Okay, so I can write that only the district, which district he comes from, okay, or his addresses. That's fine. So this is the informations of the field, and once you see that okay, we can also put the age also. So what I'm doing that I am putting the edge before the phone. So insert rows, and I'm writing that edge. Okay, fine. And now here you see the data type. That is called data definition. Okay, the first thing you have to do the data definition after you creating the data, you have data definition, because there are many things. If you just click here and click this arrow, you will find many data type. Short text, long text, number, date, time, currency, auto number, yes, no, OLE, object, hyperlink, attachment, calculate, lookup wizard. Among this auto number, once you assign the auto number, you cannot put anything by yourself. The computer will decide the auto number by it. Okay, so in case of auto number, the computer will generate the number by itself. Okay, however, I am creating the student ID by my own. I am not depending on my computer, because if I started the auto number, that computer started the assigning the number from the very beginning, like from the 1. But I have already some student, so I am creating a new database. So my student already has some ID, and therefore I am not using the auto number. Rather than I can use something else. Okay, that's the one thing. So probably I can use the number. I can use the number. Okay, I can use the number. So if I click the number, once you click the number, here you see something in default, 0 value, something in default. So actually, if you keep this 0 as a default, nothing will happen. But for each cell, you will see the 0. Okay, something like that. I'm just showing you. So if you do not change the 0, so you will see something like that. It takes longer time because I have many window opens already, and let's see why it's not working. Wait a bit. Okay, it's asking for saving. Okay, no problem. I save it. You see that if you do not delete the 0 will be appeared there, and sometimes it's a problematic. But problematic means if you select it and type, it will go away, but often it not go away. Okay, and that's why it's better that you delete that default value. Okay, if you go back, so if you always, whenever you put number or currency or auto number, actually number and currency, once you put the number and currency, the computer automatically select the default value 0, in fact. But you can delete it. You can just select it and backspace or delete it. It will go, and once it go, the 0 will not create any problem. The next one is the first name. First name is short number. If you click the short number, here you see that it allow field size, means it allow 255 character, means your file name, your short first name will contain 255 character. That's way enough. Okay, but if you click the long text, okay, there is no such thing, because long text allow you many number. Okay, something I remember that more than 1,50,000 or 49,000. Okay, in case of like a long text, but we do not need the long text right now. Long text we use for some specific reason, because sometimes this platform is used to make some database like a access like a ID and password. In that case, you might use the long text, in fact. Okay, but if you have some confusion, I would say that you need better you use short text and write a description here. First name means or is the given name. Okay, given name of the student. So you can write there. So it will not interfere with your computer, in fact, but you can write in the description. So if anybody has confusion what does the meaning of the first name, then he can come here and he can see that first name is the given name of the student. So then he can ask the student, what is your given name? Okay, my given name is Mahabub. You can write the Mahabub, something like that. And that last name, the same, the short text. Gender, definitely short text will be preferable, but in that case I am not going to use the short case, but I am using something else. So I have to create the database in a way which can leave a very small scope for making error. Okay, and I can input the data very quickly. So there are the two objectives of making the database. That's there will be less mistake for the people who using that database. So I need to consider those issues in fact. Okay. Second, I can put the data very quickly, and therefore rather than using the short text, I am using something called the Lookup Wizard. So here you see the Lookup Wizard at the bottom. Okay, at the bottom. So I'm going to use the Lookup Wizard. So if you click there and click here, you will find the Lookup Wizard. So just click the Lookup Wizard there, and once we click the Lookup Wizard, a dialog box will appear, and from the dialog box you have to read that which tab is preferable for us. So I want the lookup field to get the value from another table or query. I will type in the value that I want. So which one we are going to apply? You just read out. First one or second one? Tell me anything. Which one? Which is going to use? We are going.
Second one.
Definitely second one. We just click the second one. We click the second one, and then I need to click next. And once I click the next, I will find the column. Okay. In the column, I need to write male. Okay. Female. And if I follow the international standard, I need to write don't mention or do not want to specify or not specify something. So 3 category I have to write: male, female, and not specify. And next, and then finish. So if I do this, okay, it is already created. You will see whenever we put the data, you will see there will be a drop down menu. Okay, you can easily change your from your drop down menu. You can easily assign the your ID. In fact, okay, for the age it should be short text. No, actually once I put the short text, okay, I can still type, because in case of short text, okay, I can, here you see that drop down menu, male, female. In case of short text, I can put the number, at the same time I can write 22. Okay, but I do not leave this option open for any person, because in that case the person who input the data, someone might prefer to write in number, someone may prefer to write in words, and that will create a problem for us. Okay, and therefore in all cases we have to make sure that I can confine my database in a strictly manner, therefore nobody can make any mistake. Okay, I try to, in not all cases you can able to achieve it, but most of the cases you have to be very concerned, and you have to create your database in a way that there is a little room for mistake, and therefore from the edge I am selecting the number, and therefore we see the default value 0. I'm just selecting this and delete it. And for the phone number, it is a short text. Definitely you would say that phone number should be number. Okay, I guess many of you know that. If I ask you, many of you will say me that phone number should be number. Yes, phone number should be number, but it will be different number, and therefore I will not change anything. For the phone number, I will first select the short text, but I will find something else here. Here we need to find something called input marks. Here you see the input marks. So I need to use this function. But if I keep here the number, I will not see the input marks. input marks is only available whenever you see the short text here, in fact. So I first select the short text and then I select the input marks in this column, in this row. If I place the cursor in this row, something different happen. Here you will see a drop down window appear in this row. So I'm just keeping my cursor here in the input marks. Here you see a 3 dot came, a 3 dot appeared. Okay, this 3 dot appeared. Now I need to click here, and once I click here, okay, the computer is asking to save me the data first. Okay, fine, save, yes. Some data may be lost. Actually nothing, no data will be lost because I put some data and change the data, and that's why my computer asking some data may be lost. But for your case, the data may not be lost. Yes. And once I create here, I will find a input box, and in that case I can drag and I can see that what type of option we have. I have phone number, social security number, zip code, extension, password, long text, but I need the phone number, and phone number looks perfect for me. However, for our case we need 11 digit number, but for that case I believe there are 10 digit number. So you just count 1 2 6 4, 10 digit number. So we need to make this 10 digit number into 11 digit number. So what we need to do, can you listen? Okay. Now phone number, so I have to click there, and then there is a 11 digits, 10 digits, so I need to make it 11. So I'm just clicking here, okay, and then I need to carefully add another 0 here, extra 0 here, okay, and then select next. And there are two options, either option I can choose, but I'm selecting this option, in fact. Okay, I selecting this option, and then next, then finish. And therefore my database preparation is finished, but I have to put something, I mean this design view is finished. Then I need to change the view, and going to the datasheet view, and that is the datasheet view, in fact. Okay, so let's see that why student ID still has some number. Okay. Okay. So, and there I can put that ID, say that my student ID is 101, my student ID is 102, my student is 103. I only keep only that 5 student, but very careful, this is the arrow, this is the sign. In that sign you can put the data, but don't click there or the next button. Okay, don't click here and there. If you find something here, I mean in the other way, that will create some problem. So that should be continued. Okay, that should be continued. So you cannot leave any space there. Okay, that is the entry row, and that is the entry row, and that field is a column. The column is a field, and that row is the record. That row is the record. Like 101, the student name is say Ripon. The student is a Ripon. Okay, say that Ripon Sarkar. Then gender is male. I can easily write male. Age say 22. Phone number, say that I'm just using a pseudo phone name. Say that district in Tangai. Okay, then I can put any name like Maria Sultana, say, name female, age 20, phone number say 20. Okay, say select. Okay, so I can do it very quickly because it's a random number. Then Istiak Ahmed, male, 21 3. I'm just doing it very quickly because it's really quickly once you create your database right. Okay, then Boishaki, what is the last name? Boishaki, I don't know.
Bishash.
Bishash, okay. Bishwash, SH, double S, no matter. Female, 23, 4, Dhaka, okay. Then we find something like Naimur, Rahman, Mel, 24, 5, Lekhulna. Okay, that's it. That 5 is fine. But I cannot write something here. Okay, I cannot something here, and you cannot leave this field blank because it is the primary key. It is the primary key. So therefore, you need to delete it. You need to delete it. You cannot make it you cannot make it blank. So then you have to change the view because there is a no primary key. You have to change the view. You just change the view there and then place the cursor in the student ID. Already student ID is selected. If you keep there, the gender is selected, but I need the student ID to be selected. And then I hit the primary key. I hit the primary key. I hit the primary key. So once I put the primary key, my file is ready. Okay, my file is ready to work. And if I go back to the datasheet view, you can see that you cannot put 101 once again. If you put the, I just save it. If you try to put 101 once again, it will not take. Okay, it will not consider. You see, you cannot save it. You cannot. This will not allow you because you have already assigned as a primary key, and primary key will not be duplicated. Okay. And so therefore your data, your first table is right, but somehow I want to stop to this class because I am not finding something in right with my computer. I have to check some issues, and therefore I would like to stop today. Probably if you have time, then we can we can have that class tomorrow. Okay, is it okay for you? Okay, yeah.